everybody, Trevor here, and it's time for another top 5 video on Disney. And this time, we'll be looking at my top 5 picks for the best Disney park rides ever. Now, I'm not really a big fan of carnival rides in general because they make me feel very nauseous, uncomfortable, and unsteady, and I know a lot of people love them in general, but I prefer smooth and gentle rides where I can enjoy the scenery, and that I won't have to feel either motion sickness or fear. Now for this list, I won't be including 3D films, meet and greets, or live shows because I mainly want to focus on just the rides themselves. And because I won't be including scary rides, I won't be including any roller coasters or rides that make me feel very dizzy. I also won't include any attractions that I've never experienced before, like those from Toy Story Land, Avatar Land, or anything related to Star Wars and Marvel because I haven't given those an honest chance quite yet. So, without further ado, let's begin the Disney magic once more, shall we? Coming at number 5 is It's a Small World. Yes, I don't care what the haters say. I still think it's a cute, charming, and comfortable ride. It's even one of Walt Disney's best projects, even back then. Firstly, I didn't mind the music as well as its overall repetitive theme because it's so nostalgic and memorable. I also like seeing the different countries from around the world, including Egypt, India, and Russia. Not to mention that it's a smooth and gentle boat ride that's fun for the whole family. However, I put this so low on the list not only because it was one of the most overrated according to many people, but I can understand and respect those who have a fear of certain animatronics like these doll-like characters who represent different cultures. But for me, they're not really that scary, unless you refer to a certain scene from Escape from Tomorrow. Heck, I can even understand why some people are sick and tired of hearing the ride's repetitive theme song. But for me, it's fun, catchy, and nostalgic. Even the Lion King made a joke about it in the first movie. So if you're like me who likes smooth and gentle family rides, even in Magic Kingdom, or someone who's nostalgic for this ride, then I would totally recommend It's a Small World just for these reasons alone. But if you disagree with me, then that's totally fine. I get it. Just don't bash me for still liking it, okay? Number 4. The Pirates of the Caribbean Ride. This is another one of my favorite boat rides in Magic Kingdom. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is based on a classic attraction at Disneyland, and it was one of the most successful Disney movies based on a ride. And in my honest opinion, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are guilty pleasures of mine, no pun intended, because I enjoyed the action, the suspense, the characters, especially Jack Sparrow, and some of its witty humor. And I was also surprised that it made 2 appearances in the Kingdom Hearts series as a world, because I never expected any live action properties in the first place. But at the same time, it was a very nice surprise. But the reason this is number 4 is because it had some controversies here and there when it comes to the pirate animatronics, which is why they had to make some changes to the ride to make it more family oriented rather than suggestive, and rightfully so. And another reason why this is number 4 is because the 4th and 5th movies were kind of hit and miss. I mean, they're not as good as the first 3 in terms of character development, plot convenience, etc. But like I've said before, I still enjoy the franchise overall, and here's hoping that the upcoming 6th movie will be better than the last 2, which I sort of doubt. But if you're a fan of the movies in general, you might enjoy this ride as well because it's fun, adventurous, and even smooth for the most part. Although there is a small dip into the water during the middle, which may seem scary at first, but it's over quickly, so it's an overall safe and enjoyable ride for the whole family. Number 3 goes to Jungle Cruise. Okay, this will be the last time I add in another boat ride. I can promise you that. The reason I put Jungle Cruise as number 3 is, for one thing, it's a smooth, gentle, and calming ride just like the last 2 candidates on this list. The second reason is that there was a live action adaptation of this ride starring Dwayne Johnson, who is also best known for voicing Maui from Moana. Though unfortunately, the Jungle Cruise movie wasn't as successful as the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but I put it as number 3 anyway because I enjoyed seeing the fake animals in the water and on land, including the elephants and a rhino. I know some people didn't like Jungle Cruise as a movie, but I think it's pretty good. I liked it as much as the Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion movies. And here's hoping that the Jungle Cruise will make an appearance in Kingdom Hearts someday, which I can't promise for obvious reasons. And the funny thing is, this attraction is located in Magic Kingdom rather than Animal Kingdom. Though there is also a boat ride at Animal Kingdom that's similar to this, but I don't have time to go into that right now. Coming at number 2 is Toy Story Midway Mania at Hollywood Studios. When it comes to rides at Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida, my favorite of the bunch would have to be Toy Story Midway Mania, which was also adapted into a Nintendo Wii game 1 year after the attraction was finished in 2008. One of the biggest reasons why this is number 2 is because Toy Story was my number 1 most favorite Pixar film of all time. I also had a ton of fun shooting balls at targets while the ride spins and turns. Oh, and this ride also requires 3D glasses, which was a cool feature to the attraction. Here's an interesting bit of trivia. I had the highest score of unknown, which made me the winner. Yeah, it's been years since I've been on this ride, so that's why I couldn't remember the exact score. And this was way back in the early 2010s when I was on vacation with my mom and aunt. Another one of my favorite parts of the attraction was when you wait in line, you get to see a huge animatronic of Mr. Potato Head greeting and entertaining the guests as they walk by. Though, for what I've seen on YouTube, he malfunctions frequently, which can be quite hilarious sometimes. So, all in all, if you're a huge fan of Toy Story or anything Pixar in general, I highly recommend you give this attraction an honest chance because it's that fun. Trust me, you'll have a full blast, pun intended. Before we get to number 1, I just want to give a few honorable mentions. Peter Pan's Flight. I was going to include this one on the list as number 4, but I wanted to pick at least one attraction that involves pirates. And it was also because of the offensive Native American stereotypes from the past, which I can understand why they've changed them to these designs nowadays. Splash Mountain. I honestly wanted to include this one on the list, but because it closed down and was therefore replaced by Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it didn't make it unfortunately. The King Arthur Carousel. I decided to drop this one because we all know merry-go-rounds can be found anywhere in the world besides Disney parks in general, but still, they're fun nonetheless. The Alice in Wonderland ride at Disneyland. It's been a very long time since I've been on that ride, and to be honest, I wasn't really obsessed with Alice in Wonderland to begin with, even as a kid. I don't know why, maybe it's because I thought it was too kiddie, even for its time. But still, I had some fond memories of this attraction because of how adventurous it feels. And the number 1 spot goes to both the Disneyland and Disney World railroads. It's no secret that I'm a huge train fanatic, just like some of my YouTube friends and fans. It's also no secret that if it wasn't for Thomas and Friends, I wouldn't have gotten interested in railroading to begin with. What I love about these two railroads is the fact that the locomotives themselves are oil burning narrow gauge steam locomotives. Each one is named after specific people, including E.P. Ripley in California, as well as Walter E. Disney as the number 1 engine in Florida. There are also even 2 versions of Lily Bell. One is a parlor coach at Anaheim, the other is locomotive number 2 in Orlando. Now, if these were official Thomas characters, they would make things very confusing, even for the kids. Another thing I love about this railroad in both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom is that you can ride around it to get to certain places faster than you can. You can even relax and ride on it all day if you like, if you get off in time before the park closes, that is. Man, if only I had some Disneyland and Disney World Railroad merchandise, then that would be cool. Now, I was originally going to include the other railroads in this number 1 spot as well, like the Wildlife Express train in Animal Kingdom, but if I did that, then we'd be here all day, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll conclude it right here. Now let me know in the comment section below about which Disney rides and attractions are your favorite. Do you agree with my list, or do you have your own personal preference? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a smooth and gentle ride, it can be a wild and reckless one too. You can even include other attractions on your list as well if you like, including meet and greets and stuff. Oh, and here's hoping that the Disney parks will reduce their prices to cheaper ones and that the company itself will get their reputation back as soon as possible, because I don't want them to go out of business whatsoever. Even though I hate Bob Iger as a CEO, I still want the Walt Disney Company to step up their game once more just to earn back the throne of cinematic masterpieces and stuff. This is Trevor Davis signing off, and I'll see you all again in my next video.